Buenos dias, buenos dias. We have another day of green inflows on the Bitcoin spot ETF. Also, President Biden is changing his tone towards cryptocurrencies. Then we also have news from the STRD token, which just got listed on a centralized exchange. And also, I want to remind you that there's an ongoing STRD airdrop. We're going to look into that. Also have some big news around the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance led by FetchAI, which is a full-on Cosmos chain, and also some news around Injective, Sane Network, and alpha around Babylon. Let's go one by one as always and start with the ETF flows. We saw another green day, but a small green day, $28 million, which to be honest is a lot of money, but in relative terms to what we've seen over the past week, this is very small. Usually we saw $200-300 million of net inflows, and then the last 2 days has been a little bit slower. And the biggest inflows are still coming through BlackRock that are now holding almost $20 billion in BTC. Just flipped Grayscale is now the largest ETF spot provider in the world, followed by Fidelity, 11 billion. So this is big numbers. The big money has entered the crypto arena, and this is not going unnoticed. We already talked about how Donald Trump has been pushing crypto and is talking very positively about crypto. We obviously also know that this is politics, and eventually they're saying anything that would get them votes because they just want to get elected, right? So not taking any positions here, but it's interesting to see that Trump started this whole crypto pump basically on stage, on the political stage, and that obviously pressurizes now the Biden administration. And Biden now also came out changing his tone a little bit, and they are actually now also reaching out to crypto industry players for guidance on the crypto community and policy. And this essentially means that this is the first Bitcoin election, because out of the 50 million crypto holders in the US, I guess most of them are actually swing voters, which means for them, crypto and the stance of the candidate on crypto is the decisive factor of who they will vote for. So crypto, in my opinion, is going to decide the political race this year and this year's election, which is happening in November. So leading up to it, I think we're going to see a lot of positive news coming from the political stage around crypto. We already saw Trump also saying, or basically stating, that he would never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. And I talked about this for many years, that a CBDC would be the end of our freedom, of our sovereignty. So we definitely have to avoid getting a CBDC as the new global currency. And we also saw presidents like Milei from Argentina, Javier Milei, who also prohibited that. On the other hand, we have countries like China that are already rolling out massively at big scale their CBDC. So is a digital yuan versus the US dollar. My personal hope is obviously that they all go to zero and Bitcoin becomes the new global reserve currency, and we'll probably have Bitcoin-backed national currencies, similar as we had gold-backed national currencies up until 1971. Anyways, looking into the Cosmos ecosystem, after a little bit of a pump in recent days, we saw a little bit of a correction, especially for Akash AKT, now below $5 again, but also some green here, axelar up 2%, above $1.06, and the rest slightly down, 4, 5, 6% down. The biggest winner here, IXO, but note that there's very low volume, thin liquidity, and this is not really representative. Stargaze up 6%, but still below 2 cents, which is absolutely nuts in my opinion. Sommelier as well. So there's still quality projects at very low valuations in the Cosmos ecosystem, like Stargaze, like Sommelier. And once the bull run will kick in, and once the Cosmos season will kick in, which in my opinion is inevitably going to happen, then these coins will have massive potential to outperform the market big time. We also have osmosis scratching around 90 cents. Like I always say, below $1 for me is like picking up money from the ground. Also Neutron below $1, very cheap in my personal opinion, which gives all of us time to calmly do our research before the storm kicks in, the bulls come back, and everyone is going crazy over the prices exploding left and right. And I just had a fantastic quality meeting, quality time with Charles, the CEO at the dYdX Foundation. We talked about a lot of things. Well, we talked about a lot off camera, but also we did a nice Shisha Sito episode here at the Sito HQ in Dubai. And I talked a lot about you know, dYdX value accrual, the move from dYdX from Ethereum to Cosmos, how the Ethereum community sees them, how the Cosmos community sees them, how dYdX sees the Cosmos community, and the whole vibes and culture that we have, also considering that dYdX was actually the first one to kind of publicly state that they want to distance themselves from the Cosmos brand. So I talk about all of this with Charles. Now, yesterday I talked about how STRD had this partnership with Hyperlane to be the bridging layer for Forma Chain, which is a new modular project that is using Astria for sequencing and also Celestia for data availability. And I think that the modular thesis is going to play out big time this cycle. So this is just getting started. It had a big splash, obviously, when TIA launched. And ever since TIA went down, the kind of hype on Twitter dried out as well. But now TIA is going up again, so people are excited about it. It's always the same, but in any case, this is great to see this collaborative efforts between those projects. And STRD is also playing a major role in that. Speaking of STRD, the STRD token just got listed on MEXC. I talked to you about it last week, how there's going to be a couple of announcements this week. So one of them is the Forma Chain announcement, and this is the second one, the MEXC listing. And this means that you can now trade on MEXC if you are a MEXC user, or if you use that for your on and off ramp. I think this is good always to see from that angle. And just strengthens liquidity for the STRD token and accessibility, which is something that is also a net positive for the entire Cosmos ecosystem. And as I mentioned in the intro, there's also this ongoing STRD airdrop that you can basically get in 3 ways. There's 2 ways how you can farm it, either by holding STTIA on STRD itself or in some of the applications, or STDime. Both of them are incentivized. You can also see I just deposited some STTIA here, or liquid stake STTIA basically, and I'm getting on a daily basis these STRD rewards. And another one is if you are just a staker or active user of either of those projects that STRD is providing liquid staking for as a service, then you can also claim these airdrops, right? So if you're an Atom staker, an Osmo staker, Juno staker, Stars, evmos, and so on and so forth, there is always a redistribution of the unclaimed airdrop amount. So we are, for example, in round 17 of the Atom airdrop already. Every round that people are not claiming their allocation, it just gets redistributed to the next round. So it basically is an ongoing airdrop that rewards active STRD members and active STRD users for liquid staking with STRD and for just being active part of the community. And to be honest, in the beginning, when STRD dropped, STRD was like 20 cents or something, and the airdrop amount in the beginning was relatively small, so people were already whining around, already giving up, complaining on Twitter like Karens, like they always do. Now, 16 rounds later, and a 10x of the STRD price, this airdrop actually turned out to be very, very nice, and it will continue to be nice. And that's why I always trying to teach and trying to share with people this mindset to always embrace, even if it's a few dollars, but never complain about it. And you can never know, right? If you turn around and suddenly this few dollars turn into a few $100 and maybe even into a few $1,000, right? For just being active and just embracing the airdrops. Always embrace the airdrops. Anyways, that's all about STRD. Always keep a lookout on app.stride.zone for airdrops. Then we have big news, because now we have a date for the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, ASI, which is going to be the biggest merge that crypto has seen ever. This is a merge of FetchAI, which is a multi-billion-dollar Cosmos chain, SingularityNet, which launched on Ethereum, I guess, and then migrated to Cardano, and also Ocean Protocol. They're all going to merge on the FetchAI chain. This is going to be the new home chain, the main chain. I think that Fetch itself is going to just rebrand also into ASI, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, and there will also be a new token, the ASI token, where the Fed token, the Ocean token, and the AGIX token are all going to migrate towards, and this is going to be the biggest AI alliance in crypto. I also think that AI is probably going to be one of the biggest narratives this cycle, bigger than gaming, bigger than NFTs, bigger than anything we've seen so far, simply because this is also now gaining steam in TradFi, right? We see OpenAI, we also see Inside Crypto now with Near. The Near Foundation also announced that Near is now going to be more and more optimized for the AI sector. We also see NVIDIA, the by far most valuable company in the entire world, worth 2.5 trillion or something crazy. So yeah, also the likes of Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, they're all in this sector. So AI is going to be huge, and the ASI is going to be the biggest crypto contender for the AI space. And the date we have for the merger is going to be June 13, and on June 11, we're going to see a rebranding, a renaming of the FET token to ASI. So watch out for that. Also, I made a full-on video just a couple of weeks ago about their entire plans and their paper. They published a full-on paper on how they're envisioning the merge. I personally think it's going to be very, very interesting to see also how the core contributing entities are going to merge and collaborate. Because now you have to think, like, they all had their own investor ecosystem, their own community, their own VCs, their own everything, right? So how are these kind of organizational structure is going to merge? This is going to be very interesting. But yeah, this is cool to see, a giant experiment. And yeah, I'm excited to see where ASI is landing, how they perform, and also if they can really establish as a serious contender to TradFi Web2 in the AI field. If you also want to know some of the contenders in the Cosmos space, I recommend you watching this video, my best 7 Cosmos AI crypto coins for 2024. Also, did one here with Fetch and around Bittenzer as well. And I also recommend you to watch my interview I did with Humayun around a year ago. This was in March 21st, 2023. We talked about ChatGPT, AI, AI meeting blockchain, and Cosmos, right? So this is a very, very insightful interview. I strongly recommend you to watch this 1-hour conversation I had with Humayun. Now, speaking of big numbers, we also have Kepler wallet surpassing 1 million monthly transacting users. Congratulations to that Kepler wallet. I also think Kepler is still the interchain wallet, the OG wallet in Cosmos. Obviously, there's other OG wallets as well. I think also Cosmos Station. Now we also have Leap Wallet that also has massive traction. We also have Trust Wallet that is more optimized for mobile. But yeah, congratulations on that. I think, you know, Cosmos as an ecosystem is still highly active. People might not see it because also Atom is going down and people are still affiliating Cosmos mainly with the Atom token. That's why I think moving forward, I'm going to refer to the Cosmos ecosystem more so as the interchain. But I also think that Atom is going to do well this year. I also think that a lot of the OG coins are going to do well, like Akash network, like Injective network. So yeah, Osmo as well is going to do well. And also the new ones, right? The Celestia, the Sane networks, and the upcoming ones, right? Like Babylon and Chain, for example. So congratulations on that. That's a big milestone achievement. And yeah, on to the next million, and then the next 10 million, and 100 million, and so on and so forth. Now, we also have some news from Injective. Helix 2.0 just launched, and Helix 2.0 is bringing more RWAs, real-world assets, onto their platform. We have gold and silver now listed as futures, perpetual futures on Helix. This is great to see. And I think Injective will continue to capture more and more of the trading vertical, the trading sector. Injective is also a sector-specific chain that's focused on trading, super fast. And yeah, they have now an upgraded version of their flagship application with Helix. Then we also have some news from, let me know if you know which exchange that is. An exchange that is Cosmos-based that is pulling around $5 billion in monthly volumes. If you know which exchange it is, before me showing you the name of the project, then drop it in the chat box or below this video as a comment if you knew it before unveiling the name. But you can also see here this over $10 billion trading volume just a couple months ago. So this is obviously one of the most successful one, and we're talking about Thorchain. We're talking about Thorchain, which has their 3rd consecutive $5 billion volume month. So great to see Thorchain is killing it, absolutely. I also had a call recently with JP Thor, who is on an absolute mission to accelerate Thorchain, to accelerate the Thorchain community, and he's heavily incentivizing the growth, the awareness, and yeah, education around Thorchain. So this is also great to see. And yeah, big fan of what Thorchain has built. This is a strong product, native asset exchange for BTC as well. and yeah, also Ethereum and other Cosmos ecosystem projects. And Thorchain itself is built on Cosmos, and I think it's also now going to enable IBC finally. And then we have some other news from Sane Network. After the launch of a parallel EVM execution, we have now an announcement that they are going to enable NFT trading on OpenSea. So OpenSea actually deployed on Say. This is big. This is great to see. One of the most successful applications in all crypto history is now deployed on Say Network. Congratulations on that. And as I said in the intro, breaking news, this is actually hot off the press, just came in as I'm recording this video. Babylon just announced a $70 million fundraise led by Paradigm. And this is a very, very big strategic raise that not only puts them eye to eye with the likes of Eigenlayer, maybe even Monad, but also Thorchain in that category of that caliber of chains that have this funding, this amount of funding, which allows them to scale aggressively, massively expand the team, and also grow the ecosystem at a much faster rate. And obviously Paradigm is a very, very strong partner to have. And if you're an Advisories subscriber, then you know about Babylon since 2022. We actually did an interview here on this channel with David, and also we had Babylon at Cosmoverse Medellin 2022. I think Cosmoverse Medellin, now in hindsight, was actually the most alpha-packed conference we ever had, right? This was the coming out of stealth for Babylon, for STRD, for Kado, for Saga, as well as Sane Network. They were all back in 2022 at Cosmoverse, which is why I really think that hosting physical events is the best thing that, that gives you the alpha as early as possible, right? So yeah, this is a huge, huge race, and I'm also very proud to be part of this journey, right? I'm also invested into Babylon as a private investor since 2022, and I'm really proud to see what they have achieved and the scale, not only that they survived the bear market, but actually are coming out of it very, very strong. And this was a very tough bear market. So this is not something that is for granted. This is a massive achievement, asymmetric risk that was taken by the founders, by the core team in the early days. And yeah, now it's all coming together. And also with Tuxedo, we're running infrastructure on Babylon, we're running a validator and a finality provider. So you'll be able to also delegate your BTC and also your Babylon tokens once they're launching to our validator. So thanks for that. And I think that's all for today. Again, breaking news that just came in around Babylon. We covered the STRD news. Always look out for the STRD airdrop. This is always something where you can probably claim a few tokens here and there. And I think STRD is going to do well this bull run as well as the liquid staking market leader in Cosmos for IBC tokens. We also have now Milky Way entering the stage, focusing more on the modular ecosystem and also announcing a modular restaking platform. And yeah, the race is on. I'm very bullish. As I said, I feel extremely bullish right now. And the more we're, in this phase where things are kind of going sideways, the more time that gives us to do our research, to position ourselves, reallocate our portfolio before the bulls come back. That's all for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and be good.